Hey everybody, I'm going to do a quick intro video on the alto saxophone. So in your saxophone you should have a couple of different items. You'll have like the main body of your sax. You also have a neck strap. You have the neck, which looks like this. You have the mouthpiece and ligature, which I've already shown you how to do. And you should have a reed. I recommend a 2.5 strength reed. They come in different numbers. 2.5 is a good one to start on. It's pretty easy to make a sound, but they come in 2.5, 3, 3.5. They go all the way up to, I don't know, 5 or something. They also come in lower strengths like 2, but 2.5 is a good one to start on. So if you haven't gotten reeds yet, you should get some 2.5s. Make sure they're alto sax because other instruments won't fit. So if you get like a tenor sax or a clarinet or something like that, it won't fit. So alto sax reed. So have our mouthpiece. Make sure you get your reed nice and wet. A good idea is while you're getting your stuff out and getting ready to play, just stick your reed in your mouth and start getting it wet with a little spit on there. So you want to take your neck, and the neck goes on this part of the body of your sax. Check inside here. Sometimes there's a little plug that goes in there. Sometimes there's a whole like cleaning rod, like a fluffy looking thing that goes on there. You want to make sure all that stuff is out before you try and put it together because it won't work otherwise. So take your neck, goes in there. There's this on your neck. There's a little like metal collar here that works a key on the very top. Okay, you can see that going up and down. You want to make sure that that collar goes around this peg right here. So it goes over top just like that. When you put that on there, if you push this key, which is called your octave key, that top little pad should come up. Boom, just like that. Okay. You want to adjust it so that it's facing you. Take your neck strap and hook it onto the clip on the little hook on the back there. Okay, and then adjust it, and I'll show you about how to adjust it specifically and where to adjust it to in a little bit. But you should be able to grab this little buckle and slide it up and down to make it shorter or longer. Once you've got it all together like that, you can go ahead and take your mouthpiece and put it on like so. You don't want to jam it all the way down so it breaks, obviously, but push it down pretty far on so that it's, you know, about what's that, like a 1/2 inch or so of cork left on there. If it doesn't want to go on, you might have some cork grease in your case. It looks like a tube of chapstick. You can rub a little bit of that on the cork to make it slide nice and easy. Go ahead and put your reed on like I showed you before. I like to slide my ligature up and put my reed down there. Make sure it's lined up properly and centered. And then go ahead and tighten your ligature down just like that. Again, you don't want to get too strong with your tightening of your ligature because these screws can break if you're not careful. If you turn too hard, they can just crack and bust the top of it off. So once you've got it on there, you're pretty much good to go. There's one last thing. There's a little screw right here that you can tighten to tighten this so it doesn't swing around on you. Like I said, the collar here has to go over that peg. So you want to set up your instrument so that you can sit straight up and the sax goes off your right leg, and it should rest on your right thigh just like that. I'm not sure if you can, yeah, you can see that from there. Okay. Some people play like this, but like I'm pretty tall, so I can get away with playing like this because I'm tall enough to make that work. You may not quite be tall enough to do that, so it's best to have it on your right thigh just like that. You can adjust this and this, rotate it to make it come to you. Now, here's where the neck strap comes in. Once you've got it set up left to right here, you can tighten that screw so it doesn't shift on you. Here's the important thing. The neck strap is very important. It's really hard to play the sax without a neck strap. And by that I mean you shouldn't try and play the saxophone without a neck strap. It's a good idea to sit up in a chair, maybe a kitchen chair or a dining room chair or something like that, so that you're not like lounging on a couch or whatever. It's hard to play like that too. So sit up straight. The instrument should come to you without you having to crane your neck to get your mouth on it. So sit up straight and then hold your instrument in such a way that it's by you. Now, my neck strap is really long right now. I just lengthened it. And it's too long for me to play. I can get my mouth on it, but I got to do this thing with my neck, and that's uncomfortable. So you want to sit up straight and adjust your neck strap until the instrument comes to you. So pull it up to get it closer to you. And oh, that's pretty high. I went too much. So I'm going to pull it back down. And there it is. Now I don't have to crane my neck to play. Now I have a nice easy time getting my mouthpiece in my mouth. So let's talk about which fingers you're going to use. As you can see, my left hand is on top. Your left hand always goes on top. Don't try and put your right hand on top because you won't be able to work the keys and it won't work right, and you have nothing for your left hand to do. Your left hand goes on top. On the back of your sax, you might have this black thing. It looks like kind of like a button. It's not really a button. It's just a place for your thumb to hang out. So you put your thumb on there. If you look at these keys on where your left hand would be, most of them have these little, most saxophones have these little pearls on them. You'll notice there's 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. You might have a 5th one up here. This one has a silver one. But you'll see there's 3 of them that sort of like work really nice on your fingers. This little guy right here, it's a special key that we're not going to use yet. So you want to put your first finger, your pointer finger on here, your middle finger on here, and your third finger, your ring finger on here. Your pinkies, someday, eventually, will work these keys down here. There's 4 of them, and they're all kind of in like a square or rectangle or whatever. But these keys go there, or these fingers go there. So it's 1, 2, 3. That's your left hand. Your right hand, on your saxophone, you probably have 3. In fact, it's almost 100% of the time there's 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, that's those 3 fingers on your right hand. Your thumb can go under this hook in the back. You're going to have a little hook in the back, and that's where your thumb goes, right like that. Okay. Now, don't try and hold it with this part of your hand, because then your fingers won't reach properly. Hold it with just the ending here, the end of your thumb. Okay. Your neck strap is what keeps it up, keeps it from falling. Like, my fingers aren't gripping the sax right now, just my thumbs are pushing it away from me. Okay, but my neck strap is holding it. So make sure your neck strap is in place and you'll be in good shape. So, fingers again. 1, 2, 3. Right hand. 1, 2, 3. And you should have all 6 of those fingers. Bum, 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 bum. And your pinky on your right hand will work these ones someday when we get there. Not yet. So there you go. That's the saxophone, and that's how you set it up. Your thumb is also going to be able to work that key right there. That's called your octave key, and we'll talk about that in our first video, in the video for the very first note. So I'll see you then.